Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us at World of Pets podcast. We love having you here on a weekly basis. And we want our pets to live as long as possible, but we want that to be a good quality life. So, to that end, we on this podcast explore all things about pets and animals so that we can have them around for a long time, but they are living a quality life. So, again, thank you for joining us. Take it away, hosts.
Thank you, Debbie, for the intro. We are here at World of Pets podcast, and my name is David, also known as Peyton Pooh and Wolfie. As you can now see, I've adjusted things, started writing some music on my own, so check me out on my other platform. With that, we're sponsored by debspets.com, DEBSPETS.com, where you can find everything you need to know about pet and human wellness on that channel. So, welcome, my good friends, Paul and Lauren. I would never have met you without meeting my other friend, Donna. And, I love Gary and Sherry. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to start with horses, and then we're going to go into a few other things that I think are just going to be fun. And when Anthony stops in, he's going to have more questions than me because I know you guys.
We've seen it.
So, yeah, we're coming to this horsing around with dogs. So, we're going to start with horses. I know Lauren's the expert, and Paula's been the victim.
Got it.
We'll start with Lauren. How did you get into it? How did you get into equine? What interested you the most, and what made you pursue it?
So I actually did not grow up with horses. I did not start riding until I was 5. My stepdad convinced my mom to let me go to camp, and I went to camp for 7 years, and they finally got tired of hearing me ask for a horse. So I got a horse when I was 12, and I've been a horse owner for the last 17 years.
Nice. So, what were some of the initial challenges?
Well, first, we went through looking at 8 different horses to buy, and we bought the last one.
Okay. And was there a particular breed you were after, or some aesthetics you were looking for?
We looked at a little bit of everything. The main thing we wanted was, I was 12, we needed something safe.
And what did you choose?
We got the one that may not have been so safe, but that's what kicked off my whole training venture.
Sure. Did you get professional training, first of all, and what was that like?
So I would say that she was a professional trainer. However, she was my mentor, and I boarded with her, and she was just an amazing person and did not charge me training prices. She taught me everything I know.
That's great. Can you give her a shout out somewhere?
Yep,
Does she have
Holly Landis. She's a vet at St. Francis in Augusta.
Okay. And you guys are down in South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you've got plenty of land. So do you have the horses on your property now?
We do.
That's wonderful. How often do you take them off-roading, if you will?
Depends on like season, weather, and stuff like that. I like to get out at least a couple weekends a month.
Yeah. That's a good thing. I like to walk myself every once in a while too.
They don't get out; they're just eating. And
Yep.
That's it.
It's just eating.
Eating and costing money.
And I can ride them around here too. It's just more fun to take them out.
Yeah, it is fun to take them out. I've only been on horses like a few times in my life when I was younger, for sure. But in the let's say daily care, what's your routine with them?
Feed and water, daily care for sure.
That's it. That's all
Yep.
it is.
That's all they want. Yep, feed and water. And then if I pull them out, they got to be groomed.
Right.
And then they have like their monthly farrier that does their feet, and the vet comes twice a year.
Okay. Is just maintaining their general health, just like going to a regular doctor.
Yep.
That's
She
good.
makes the feeding sound simple, especially during the wintertime, but even throughout the year, she's still supplementing vitamins, and she can sit here and tell you about how much protein this feed has versus this other type of feed, and this feed's made for senior horses more than younger horses, and the breakdown of the nutrients per bag of whatever, and then this powder needs to go for that horse, but this horse can't have that. There's a lot more that she's not saying. She can tell you about a specific grass or hay just by looking at it, like, that one doesn't seem right. Let me look at this bale over here because I think this is fresher. This is second cut, not first cut, or something like that. Just there's all kinds of things that she's not saying, but it turns into a little bit more of a daily obsession than it does just routine at some point.
Yeah. And it's more seasonal too. Like, I have way more work and I have to feed more in the winter and then the fall than I do, the spring and the summer when the grass is in. So.
Well, expound on that. Like, what kind of vitamins and minerals are you adding and supplementing to their diet?
They like the loose minerals. It's just a bag I get from the feed store, and daily electrolytes. And of course, they have their salt and free choice salt and minerals.
All right. So, Paul, we'll flip the script on this one. Like I said, she's the expert, but you've had the challenges. So, tell me about some of the challenges.
There's a lot more to take care of when she's taking care of horses. So there's other animals in the house and the projects, the fencing and the building and the labor that goes with farm life. And I'm always front and center. And
he's a professional post setter and gate hanger and T-post setter.
Yeah.
Because
if you want to call me that.
I'm only 5 foot tall. There's only so much I can do.
But she's
I try my best.
List of projects.
Yes.
There's no shortage of work, so she's always got something for me to knock out.
So, what would a post setter be?
Post setter, basically just
setter. Okay,
driving metal T posts into the ground with this like a metal tube, and you have to just bang them into the ground.
There's only so long that I can do that myself. So
well, you start generally over your head, and I'm 6 foot tall, so I can handle them. But we have clay out here. After about
18 inches.
Between 16 and 18 inches, it turns into clay, which, last weekend I was trying to drill holes with an auger, and my auger even jammed up after 18 inches. It would just slide on the clay surface like it was a steel top. So gosh. It's always something.
Farm life.
Just farm life.
It is farm life. Hey, welcome in, Anthony.
Hey, buddy, what's up, man?
We are... He's upside down now. Is that you took your pants off, right?
I did.
You had one job.
That's the job.
Nobody got time for that.
So we're what we're talking about right now is setting posts for clearly containment on a farm. I did not ask yet. How many acres do you guys have?
We have just over 10.
10? Okay.
But it's all fenced in. It's got to be all fenced in how we have it.
Sure. Are you doing cable? What style of fencing you're doing?
So we have like no climb fencing. The perimeter is like wood posts and no climb fencing. Then we have mostly T posts throughout, separating pastures and making sure we have hot wire over everything because we don't want horses to break through anything. So
if it's not hot, they'll go through it.
Yeah, if it's not hot, they get brave and they're not afraid to just plow over it.
Because the grass is greener on the other side, right?
Yeah. Excuse me. It's what they say. Now define hot wire for those that don't know.
It's just so ours is fairly simple in the form of just a single strand of wire over the top of the perimeter of our fencing or whatever paddock the horses may be in. And it's electrified. I don't know the current box that we have, the current voltage, but it's enough to it'll set you down on your butt.
It's a horse grade box.
It's a horse grade box. It's
it.
not for like bulls necessarily. There are stronger ones, but it's enough to make you regret touching it for sure. but we both hit it. I've hit it a couple
so many
times. She's hit
times.
it plenty of times, and it works, and it certainly persuades the horses to stay back.
Yep.
Well, that sounds like a major deterrent for other outsiders too.
Oh,
absolutely.
We have to warn everybody that comes to visit, and sometimes people
Yeah.
don't see it or they forget that we just told them, and then they lay an arm on it or not see a face height wire that they're supposed to duck under. Instead, they catch it or whatever. It's happened a couple times, but
Yeah.
we've got signs protecting us from lawsuits around the property just in case.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my dog. Anthony, you came in at the right time. Yeah, I know you got something.
Yeah,
for
man,
this.
sounds like it. Sounds like I definitely came in at the right time.
So, all right. So we've gone through the pros and cons, some of the challenges of raising horses, and I know you guys have a lot of dogs. Do you have cats too that go outside?
She's got a barn cat.
Barn
We've got
cat.
three dogs in the house, and she's got a barn cat.
So, how do they interact with the horses at all?
Not real. The dogs, not much. One of our dogs used to run up and down the front yard fence line with one of her younger female horses because she's a cutting horse by breed, by nature. So, you see the events where or what cowboys do with cows when they try to prevent them from going a certain direction. They have the horse that'll bounce back and forth in front of the cow, and they'll keep it with its herd. That's her by nature. And one of our dogs, when this horse used to be in the front pasture in front of our house, she would run up and down the fence line really fast barking, and that horse would chase her back and forth, and it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like a huge event when they would start playing together. But that was kind of the extent of them interacting because the horses are generally out further in the pastures. I mean, they've been around them. Like I throw a ball to one of my Brittany's. I have two Brittany's, and we have an English cocker. Who's the English cocker is the one. That's Maisie. She's the one that played with the horse before.
Mm-hmm.
But I throw a ball in the front yard all the time for my second oldest, for my Brittany. And sometimes it might stray, go into a pasture or whatever. And as much as she'll do is just run out there, find it, and try and run right back. Like they don't actually go play around each other or hang out because my risk, of course, not saying the horses aren't trained to be able to handle dogs being around them, but just that off event that the dog gets too close or it spooks the horse somehow because they're spooky animals and then gets a kick in the ribs or in the face or something like that. That's all it takes. Only one time. So we actually try to keep them fairly separated. And that's not saying that Lauren hasn't been on trail rides and stuff and had plenty of people with dogs go up and down and go past them, and she's been fine. She's clearly still here and unbroken at this point. So, but we're not putting them together on purpose and having them interact on purpose in the same pasture.
What kind of dog did you say it was? What breed?
So I've got two Brittany's, and then Maisie, the younger one, she's an English Cocker Spaniel.
Oh yeah.
Little girl. Yep.
So, in what, I mean, I wrote down ups and downs, but I have questions when it comes to that. Because I know that any animal is like high maintenance, right? And well, some are less than others, but I could definitely see a horse being more maintenance than your average house dog that you mentioned. And what would you say that the best up and best down would be
For horses?
Yep.
You want me or Lauren?
Like
Either one.
experiences or
Either one. Both of you.
I'll give you
Go
mine
ahead.
and she can give you hers. My
Okay.
my best up for horses is they keep her happy. My biggest down is they're a constant expense. And it takes a horse person to do horse things. Not just anybody can walk out to the pasture and expect to know how to even walking up on a horse. You have to know how to approach it. You have to know how to get its attention.
Yeah.
You have to know how to not spook it. You have to know how to steer it. I say steer as like a technical term, kind of, but basically, they react to human contact and pressure is what she would call it, differently than other animals. So
Yeah, because they're prey animals. They're very different from the dogs, which are predators.
so my biggest challenge, I would say personally, is when we have to leave. I travel a lot for work. I do, I got plenty of places to go throughout the year. So having a person, especially, so a lot of times I have to go and she's got to stay because we have horses. And the dogs people can watch. We know people who can stay with the dogs. But having the farm, we can't just have a house sitter or just take the dogs somewhere for a week, because not only does that cost a lot, but our dogs are like country girls. They're not used to city life, or a lot of people, when they see new people, they're like, oh my God, there's more of them out there. There's more than just the two of you out there. They lose it. So they're good dogs. They're super happy and stuff, but they
get overwhelmed.
They get pretty overwhelmed being out in like a public scenario. But the horses, they have to have somebody who knows horses, who can handle them, who can catch them if necessary, to stay. So we have to have somebody stay at our house, and we have to pay people to actually live on the farm to take care of animals. Like that's something we have to worry about quite often.
Yeah.
Is who can we pay to stay in my house, sleeping, on our furniture or whatever, and basically just make sure things don't explode, because horses tend to get into stuff.
Because this place has to run no matter what.
Yep. Do we have any
That's my ups and downs. I'm sure she's got different ups and downs. Those are my ups and downs.
Expound for sure. And while you're doing that, Lauren, Anthony, check the chat over on YouTube and see if we got any questions.
Yeah, I was just there. I don't see any questions on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm waiting for them. I thought Dave was going to ask a really good one, but
I'm all out of questions. I'm down to basics here.
so did you guys
if you,
share at the top when I wasn't able to be on? Did you guys share what breeds your horses are?
No.
So I have 2 registered quarter horses, and then my 2 boarders one's an unregistered quarter horse, and then the other one is an Appaloosa cross.
Oh, Appaloosa. Okay.
so I can count them on one hand. 5.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a handful.
I've had upwards of 8 here at one time before.
Wow.
We had 8.
Oh.
Wow, that's
On
crazy.
10 acres.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
it
10.
got pretty crowded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can imagine. With 8 horses on 10 acres, man. That's
Yeah, they eat a lot. They eat all day.
It's okay because my horses are very blessed. They look at food and get fat. So, but back to what Paul was talking about and the ups and downs. I would say one of the ups for me is the 2 horses that I have right now. They just turned 6 and 10. I've had them since they were 6 months old and 10 months old, and just being part of that progress and training them and raising them and getting them to where they're at today is probably one of my highest points as a horse trainer. I've trained plenty of horses for the public as well, but for my own horses, that's huge for me, especially because this started because I was 12 and got the horse that I probably shouldn't have bought, but like I said, that kicked off my training venture. And then of course the lows is we've definitely lost one. It's not easy. And we just put one down. She was a boarder. We just put her down at the beginning of February. She was here since 2019. So, that always sucks. But, it's farm life. It's horses. She was old. It was her time to go. The other one that we lost, that one was kind of tragic, and he was only halfway through his life. But, it's okay. Farm life goes on. You can't get hung up on every single thing that happens with them,
Things come and go. That's just life. That's
Yeah.
having animals, no matter what they are, no matter what breed or species.
it's true.
Yeah. Horses, it's a little bit different. It's not like going out in the backyard with a shovel, especially when you have clay 16 inches
Oh, yeah.
down,
It
18
was
inches
a
down. We have to
whole-
get a whole excavator. You
Yeah.
have to hire somebody to come with a machine and a
We
large
planned
truck.
this through a weekend.
They got to dig a hole that's over my head.
Mhm.
I mean, you have to be able to fit a minivan in it, essentially. And then they have to be able to strap up the animal and lower it down and then cover it again. And that's also like, you have to take into consideration you're digging a massive hole on your property too. And then you have to kind of consider what happens later on. Is the hole going to sink? Do we have to do more maintenance on it? Things like that. It's just all monitoring and day by day stuff essentially. But
A lot of start to finish planning. You know.
and you have to hire people. You can't just, like I said, you can't just go out there and do it unless you have an excavator, which at the moment we don't have an excavator. That's a big piece of machinery. So luckily we know a few people in the community, at least, that with the right amount of money will come out here and dig holes and
the horse community is just amazing. You know, everybody knows everybody. There's always somebody that could do something. So
That's useful for sure to have people that have excavators and
Burp.
cut out.
And just like that. Anyway, so it happens from time to time.
yeah,
But
technology.
they, you know, that's, like he was saying, it's useful to have excavators and stuff like that. I mean, I know your mom was very blessed to have their neighbors up there when roads needed repaired and stuff needed to be assembled and that kind of stuff. And I know they were a super big blessing to Ginny High, by the way. And I'll be sending this to them too. But that's a really complex thing to have. If you don't have all of the equipment to do it yourself, you know, you're going to have to either barter or pay for whatever service that may be.
Yeah.
Anthony, go ahead and finish your thought. You're on excavators.
I was just saying it's nice to have, you know, people. I think Lauren made the comment that, you know, the horse community is pretty tight when you know people because everybody needs something in the horse community. I know right now, you know, saddle making and farriers are really kind of tight in the horse community because there's not a lot of them. And so to have people to have the equipment you need, the heavy equipment, all those type of things, that's good to have that community right there.
People that are good at it too.
Yeah.
They gotta be not just have it, like we were talking about farriers, for example. You know, there are farriers, but how many are so good or so reliable that you would want to use them over and over and over again versus somebody who might make something wrong for the horse or trim something wrong off of the horse that could cripple it in 10 seconds. So luckily, you know, she's been around this community long enough. She's secured a farrier who's awesome. He actually teaches other farriers. So we've been to clinics of his and stuff. I mean, he could take a piece of metal that looks like nothing and turn it into a horseshoe in minutes.
Nice.
Like all from just hammering and anvils and kilns and knowledge.
Yeah.
He's great at it.
He's actually certified with the American Farriers Association. Like he's very, very well qualified. He's been, you know, trimming horses for me for the past 16 years.
That's fantastic. Because that was like one of the other things I was going to ask. You know, what, you know, if you were going to recommend something for people that wanted to buy or adopt and raise a horse, what would be your final thoughts on this particular subject?
I would definitely say take lessons. Start with lessons. If you decide you want to get a horse after some lessons, lease one first. Highly recommend leasing one first. I've dealt with people that have taken a handful of lessons and begged me to help them buy a horse. Got a horse. They only owned it for 9 months and they were done. And then we had to go through that whole process again. So definitely take lessons, lease one for probably a year before you commit to buying one. Just make sure it's really something that you want to do and that you can commit to because they live, you know, early to mid 30s.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's so many horses that just get passed around, you know, that it's, you know, passed around for reasons that are 100% preventable. So, you know, and I know not everybody's a trainer, but you have to be able to, you know, recognize habits and fix things on your own sometimes.
You got to have somebody. You have to, if you don't know horses and you're new to them, you know, like she said, the leasing thing is huge.
Yeah.
Because that kind of gives you responsibility while still having a backup plan. So if you need to end your lease or whatever, at least the owner of that horse can still step up and be like, okay, I got it from here. If you're one of the people that realizes that it happens to be in your DNA, like her, like it's deep down, like meant to be, then great. Then you learn from what you can during the lease period, and then you go find a horse. But always have somebody, because coaching, it never ends for stuff like this. She's been training him forever, and she still seeks guidance from people who have been doing it even longer than she has.
There's always somebody that you can learn from. There's always something you can do better.
And I
For
think
sure.
that goes for everything.
Yep.
Agreed.
Any last thoughts, guys? Anthony?
No, just glad I was able to make it in and join part of the conversation.
Yeah, it's an important one for you because you wanted to start a ranch for rehab.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Still plan to
definitely
do
go
that in
back
the
and watch
future.
from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Yeah, for rehabbing horses.
No, I actually wanted to do an equine I want to do, and I plan to do in the future, an equine assisted therapy ranch.
Oh,
Our
awesome.
focus will be on veterans mainly, but I'll partner with other nonprofits for churches and other like group homes and things of that nature. But the horses will be providing the therapy for the veterans, in that taking care of them is therapeutic, being around them is therapeutic, riding them is therapeutic. And obviously I'll have some full-time cowboys that work on the ranch that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Rather than just leaving inexperienced people, as you were saying, Lauren, out there on their own to do nothing. I'll have a couple cowboys on the ranch. So that's my 8 to 10 year goal. I got to wait for my son to graduate, but it's going to happen eventually.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, let me know when you want help.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to help.
Mm-hmm. It's a great place to network when we do this kind of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
With that, guys, I think I'm out of topical questions personally. Anthony, anything else?
No, I think we're good, man. As normal, we want to thank everybody that joined us in the World of Pets podcast tonight. We want to let you know that you're loved, you're valuable, and you're appreciated. And as we always say, David, we'd rather have the 3 a.m. conversation than to hear your name in the headlines the next morning. So please reach out to us if we can help you in any way.
Absolutely. Paul and Lauren, I'll be talking to you guys soon, and look forward to having you on a completely different subject on my other podcast.
Sounds
So
good.
you guys are beautiful. Your mom's beautiful, Paul. She's still one of my best friends. We talk all the time. So share this through your family, through your friends. Give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. You know where to find us. Our sponsor is debspets.com. That's DEBSPETS.com. And we will see you next week. Have a blessed
Thanks, guys.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad that you joined us for At World of Pets podcast. We would like for you to take a look at what our sponsors have to offer, and that sponsor is debspets.com. You can access it through the QR code, or you can just go to the website. So thank you for joining us, and hope to see you again next week.